Welcome back, this is Nerd Dad, and we are on episode 9 of our playthrough, and we're going to try to get a little bit more speed here, just try to get ourselves caught up a bit and get moving. So let's see if these assembly machines are ready. Looks like everything's looking really good here. Look at that, 50 of each. Let's just throw those extras back in there. There we go. And how are we doing on our inserters? We should be good. Okay, so what do we need? We're going to need I just want to double check. I believe it's 5 copper plates, right? So what we're going to want to do here is think about how could we double up that line. And I think if I'd been thinking ahead, I'd do the same thing here as I was doing on the other one. Just quickly split this line off, get a nice little bead of steel coming right down along here. Whoopsie. And let's get some more gun turret, and we're just going to keep those bugs right off our walls there. And no more bugs! Okay, I'll show them who's who. And right off like that. That'll be fantastic. And we'll just put a little splitter right there. And just down like that. Come on. Our steel should be here. Yeah, here it comes. Okay, and if we just split that in like this, that's going to make that a beautiful little double line. Now I got to stop that because we don't want it coming all the way down into our line here. This is the point where we're going to start flipping this line around a little bit. But in the meantime, we know that this is going to take 3 items, so it's going to need I'm just kind of lining up our thing here. We're going to need a assembly machine too. Whoops. Alright, and we're probably going to need 2 sets of these, but for right now we're just going to go with 1. And we're going to put 2 on there, and we're going to want a couple of these for the copper plate when we bring them in. Get some power in here. And we'll get light. Let's grab a light right about there. And dunk. And chunk. Chunk. And this will be our off branch. Oops. There and there. Like I said, I kind of start just using the blues once I get up to this point. Sorry, I should zoom out for you a bit because it is a little bit hard on the eyes when I get in zoomed in like that, so I'll try to keep it zoomed out a bit. There we go. Okay, so we've got our red inserters. All we got to do is get our copper bead down there, and we will bring it down just like this. And just quickly bring this up. And get our line from there. Actually, it should be able to come all the way in there. Oh, I've done that in the wrong place. That's why I was kind of wondering why I got that extra distance on it. Okay, and we're still taking some damage on a wall somewhere by the looks of it. Okay, and there goes some copper once we get this line fit in. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a little bit off that center line as well, just to make sure that this red keeps full. Okay, and what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to stop this right here for right now, and we will just get this feeding in so we get the steel, and make sure that this is going to pump out some reds for us. And once we get to there, then we're just going to, I think we're just going to bring this all the way down like this, and we're going to reroute a couple things here. Okay, so let's get this sort of fixed up here a bit, and we're going to change this one now so that it says, we're going to tell this one that we want it to be red ammo now for less than 50. So it's going to start feeding in reds. And what we're going to do here, in a couple secs, we're going to drop a purple on here, and we're going to do some filtering once we just get a little bit of reds build up here. So we just want to hold off on this for a second. Let this line backlog a bit. And what we're going to do in the other part of the meantime is we're going to run this line backwards a bit. And how are we going to get this wormed in here? Sometimes it just takes a little bit of finagling to get it back so we can get all this ammo back into our line here. And we're going to do it something like this. Let's bring it up along here. And how do we want to do this? We'll just put 2, 3, 4. Why not? Okay. And I've got to think about this a little tiny bit. We're going to want another logic wire. And what we're going to do here is we're going to put some logic on a couple of lines here. So the way this works is if you haven't used logic before, we're going to run logic from there to there. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell this one to be a read belt. We're going to tell it just to read and use hold. Pulse doesn't really seem to do too much. It's great if you're just trying to track something just popping through very briefly, but it's so intermittent it's almost less than a tick. So we like to use this as a, we like to put the hold on. And then what we can do on this one is we tell it whether to enable or disable based on what's in there. We're going to tell it that if the yellow ammo in here is equal to 0, then it'll be green. So as soon as we feed this right now, what's going to happen is it's going to stop that line. And so we're not going to get any more yellow ammo from this factory, so we're going to save those. And what's going to happen, this line will just keep feeding this. So we're going to get all the yellow ammo back from this line. And this is really dumb. I should have ran this all the way from back here like this. I know I was in that line. We were just, oh my goodness. Come on. There we go. We're just going to bring you all the way from there. Now let's just clean this up real quick. Alright, so what we've done is we've got the red ammo coming in. We've got a nice little backlog of it. And now we're just going to throw on a filter inserter here. And we're going to tell it only to put through reds. And what's going to happen here, we're going to catch our line up in a second, is as soon as we do this, what you're going to find is now we're going to start filling that line with reds. And this little bucket's going to start filling up with all sorts of yellows. So, what do? Well, we've got to take a little bit of extra work here at this point. What we've got to do is we've got to say, okay, choices, logistics too. I still haven't got that yet. I really should, but I really want an engine. I want to do a little bit of a drive-by. So there's a couple ways I can do this. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll set up an extra box, and I'll make that extra box just filter through. What we're going to do on this one is we're going to, instead of, because we know this line's pretty clean right now, what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to flip around to purple here, and we're going to tell it we only want yellows. And we're just going to go like this, and we're going to feed this across to here. And we can clean that up again and send it back to being the exact same way as we had for the reds. But now we're going to pull all the yellows over here. And what we're actually going to end up with is this one's pulling all the yellows out of here, and this one's pulling all the yellows off. So we're actually double pulling onto this track. So we're really going to backlog this line as fast as we can. What we can't backlog will end into here. I had forgotten, however, that I do need to set this one also as a filter inserter. Otherwise what will happen, we'll route the reds into here and we'll have all sorts of problems. So we need to make sure that only yellows are coming to this side. And we've done that, so that's great. Now we may get a couple little gaps in here due to not being able to produce this as fast. You can see that we could actually build more of these, and I'm thinking we're actually going to do that. I'm going to set us up with another 4. I want to make sure we have lots of these, and even if it's a little bit overkill right now, it's okay. I'm okay with that. Really want to get this red ammo on the outside line and basically get all that yellow off there. Now, the only issue that we do have out there right now is in the guns themselves, there are yellows. We have to kind of fire all that off before we will start loading the reds, which does mean you need to have the guns deplete themselves, which can be a bit of a risk. So you got to be aware of that. If you've got a place that you're really concerned about and you're taking a lot of heat, you may want to consider emptying those guns when the reds are going by and getting them to load up. I'm not too worried about what we've got right now. I think we've got pretty decent coverage to handle it. And we'll just cut and paste our lines in there, and there we go. We've got another whole set of reds, and let's throw a nice little light down there for ourselves. Okay, so that's fantastic. We've got our red ammo, and we've started to filter. You can see the little gaps starting to appear, and this is what I'm talking about, is until these are empty, they won't pull off the reds, and that's okay. We should start putting some lights around our perimeter too, so as we're kind of in areas, let's start doing that. We'll make a few extra lights. Okay, so what we do want to think about right now is how are we going to get some grenades? That's going to be good. Coal's way over here. Unless we pull off this coal here, we are going to be struggling a little bit for grenades. Now, we do have a coal line coming way down here we could utilize, but grenades really do like a lot of coal. They can be pretty thirsty. Now, we could... Let's go take a look at our line and see how well it's doing. This line here is actually quite thick, and I'm actually thinking, I just want to kind of backtrack this line just a little bit to get a feel for what we're doing with it. Yeah, we're not having any troubles keeping up with this. So, to make sure we don't have any troubles, we're going to put 2 more on here. I really want to make sure that we don't, deplete our any of our lines doing our ore processing when we do this. And we're actually going to bleed off this other line over here that's feeding the stone. If I'm going to risk anything, it'll be for the stone walls. I can handle that becoming an issue. And I believe this is actually going to be the one that's going to be closest to where we are anyways. So it's a good fit for us as well. Alright, we should be able to just... I got one stone on the wrong side there. That's okay. And how are we going to do this? Now we're not going to be able to jump that. So what we're going to have to do is do one right there. Oh, this is going to be ugly. Oops. Totally backwards. Well done, sir, said nobody to me ever. And let's just pull this right down. There we go. There's our coal. That's fantastic. And just do a little jumper across there. Oh, that's feeling really good. Okay, and the other thing we're going to need, I believe, is some plate. And will we have plate around here? Yeah, right there. So, where are we doing everything that we're doing? I got to think a little bit about where we want this to be built. I think what we'll do is we'll start with it right here, and I think I can actually do this with ease. I want to make sure that... Why are we running into problems? We ran out of copper, didn't we? Yep, our copper line's not getting enough copper, so that is good to know. I'm okay with us having that little problem, because what we'll do is we'll just bleed off that other line for now, just to get us some ammo. We'll just bleed that across there. But it does show us that we're going to have to get that second line of copper up and running. That's okay. So we're gonna have a few gaps in our line. That's okay. We'll get there. We have you gotta remember we got 10 rounds in each gun right now anyway, so I'm not too worried. And the gaps are just, there is a gap, but we will get some ammo in there. So chances of us getting overwhelmed in this little brief period of time are very slim, but we can keep an eye on it too. And you can see these guns are just chewing these up anyways. They're not even getting to the walls in most situations. Oh, we had some research. Oh, we already learned those, eh? That was fantastic. I wouldn't mind getting automobile. What am I missing? Yeah, it's time for logistics 2. Let's get logistics 2. Okay, back to what we were going to do. We were going to build ourselves a happy place. We're going to want... You know what? Let's just double this line right here. Again, because... we're in a place. That's okay, we'll just pull that off real quick. I'm almost wondering if I should build it here, but I kind of want to just build this all the way over here and then build our military science packs up in here is what I'm thinking. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'd like to get 2 sets of these going. How long do these take to build? I think they take a while. Yeah, they're in the 8-second job. Oh, maybe we do want to run 2 full lines over here. Starting to rethink what I got going here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there. Okay, we're going to pull this apart, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to keep these as thick double lines, because what I want to do is I'm going to double feed this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run a double bead right down like this. Actually, we need both like that. Yep. Okay, and we will just use our little junction here to do something like this. And there we go. And again, there will be times when we'll get a little bit goofy on this line, because once we come here and pick out a bunch of these, it might choke off our line a bit. Oh, we're in a position to pick up a bunch of these, so that's why I love having those things. We can just run and get them. And while we're here, why don't we just do that? We'll find out how much pressure we're going to put on this, and just give back those 15. And how are we doing on these? There's 50. Yeah, we'll throw those back. We'll settle for 50 right now. Nice thick double line coming in here, and let's get building. Okay, a couple on each side, couple on each side. Oh, I can't wait to have grenades. I love grenades. Don't really like them for fighting the bugs, but I do really enjoy them for fighting the trees. It's mono trio, and yeah, I really like to kind of take them on with the trees. Okay, and just like that, we should have that side done. Clunk, 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 clunk. Yeah, charge. And I think what we'll do is we'll hook these grenades back up, put a basket on the top end of it. Come on. Put a line in like this, and where will these join up? Okay, we're going to just do this like this. Just put these on a little bit of a filter like that. And actually I want one more. Okay, and then we should be able to do this. And we will pull, that wasn't good. Pull these grenades up like that. And we'll pull this side up over to this side. Double line these grenades. We'll probably put them into a single eventually. And why don't we put a... I wonder if this will work. I'm going to try this. I'm not too sure whether... I should be able to reach across and pick them up. We'll try to put our grenades right there for now. We might mix them up with some other things, like a shopping basket type thing. But for right now, I just want to get a few in my greedy little mitts. And allow myself to start blowing some things up, because I'd like to get after those trees at the end there when we start expanding this. So there we go, and we'll see if that can keep up. Looks like the ore is not doing too bad there, but it's kind of coming along. And let's, we're going to be a little bit pressed on this this red ammo. I was kind of hoping this would be caught up and filled, but because of our copper shortage, so why don't we get 5, 10 of those. And how are we doing on inserters? We're good for inserters. Okay, and let's quickly get up here and get ourselves some more copper. I think it's just the right thing to do. Dun dun. Quickly, quickly. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Goodness me, I say. And one. Now, question. Do we need... Yeah, let's just bump it right over there. And we'll just do this. Just join it in like that. So sometimes instead of just running it in, just tapping one side of the line, I like to join it up so it gets a little bit of mixture going. Okay, hopefully we've got enough. Well, we've only got 6 there. How many we got in our bag? 4, 5, 6, and then get me some more for reserve. And we'll get these online. There we go. There's another 2. And we put one there. There's 3, 4, 5. Oh, where's the other one? 6. Well done. And we just drop power line there, and just bring ourselves some ore like this. Looks like we got lots of space to fit this on that line, so we won't bother tying this one in. Oh, why don't we? Because eventually we might be giving it a little bit of pressure, so we'll just not close enough to seal that off. Okay, let's get rid of all this copper in our bag. Okay, hopefully that'll help us keep that line a little bit fuller. Okay, and the other thing I've been noticing, I got all this ore in my bag, and I really just don't want it in here anymore. So let's just get rid of some of it. Let's split it up in half. So. Doesn't really matter how you do it, I just always like kind of splitting it up a little bit. Oh, look at that line's backlogged. Why is it backlogged? What's its problem? Because it isn't working there at all. Okay, so what do we need to do there? Because we're not really getting as much ore as we could because this one side is backlogged. So, quiet alarm. I think what we will do... What will we do? What will we do? I think we'll be a little bit creative here and do something like this. Instead of pulling that line to there, we'll pull it into here like this. And I'm thinking we'll double smack this line and we'll put this into a double line. We've got the transport belts for it, so let's just get it doing what we want to do. Now, what I'm noticing is we've kind of goofed this up a bit, so why don't we get it a little cleaned up here. We're going to want 1, 2... Why are you doing that? 3. Okay. And this first one will come in like this. The second one will go over to here like this. There we go. Now we got 2 lines coming in nice and thick. And hopefully, if we have to go to 3, we'll go to 3. But that right now should keep us nice and full. If we really wanted to, we could bump this one across. We could kind of do something like this and bring this one down like this. And this side would keep that one 2, and this would keep that to 2. So we'll do that. Okay, the copper's getting there a little better, and I'm seeing maybe a little bit more red ammo. And we're looking like we're in a pretty good place. Lots of yellow ammo coming back off that track. Oh, and now we're getting good spacing. This is what we wanted to see. Much better spacing. You can see it's starting to back up just a little bit. That's really good. What we got here in the bag, I just want to make sure we got lots of space in there. Yep. So we're keeping on top of it. That's really good. I was hoping to get that light switched off to red, which meant we would have 50 and this would start backlogging. So we're just a hair behind in that process. But we do have red ammo and we've got some extra copper up. So we're going to call that episode 9. And episode 10 we will get the military science packs up and running, and we'll start feeding that into our system. So far we're keeping up with the greens. They're just keeping up, doing their job. So we're feeling like we're pretty good. So I'm Nerd Dad. That's episode 9. I thank you for joining me. Always appreciate any likes, comments, appreciate any helpful criticism. And of course, I appreciate some subscriptions. So whoops. And I guess next time we're going to be dealing with a brownout. But we'll do that next time on episode 10. I'm Nerd Dad, and I'm out.